Welcome back to Rafa Rides 2021, sponsored by Lockheed Martin. I'm so pleased that you can join us here in still sunny Leicestershire. Most of our cyclists have finished their challenges, whether here in Leicestershire or around the world, and we've had people join us today on this live feed from all across the USA, from Norway, Spain, Germany, all over the place, the Middle East, Akrotiri, and I'm so sorry if I miss any of you out, but there's been so many of you and it's fantastic. And you know, that's the point of Rafa Rides. It's linking our Royal Air Force community and our Royal Air Force community supporters up across the world, and it's been a resounding success. So thanks to all of you watching for everything that you've contributed to that. And it's not just me that wants to say thank you. We've got quite a number of people now. This is the home straight. This is our last live feed. And Air Chief Marshal Sir Mike Wigston, marvellous Mike, Chief of the Air Staff, has a message for you all.
Good luck to all 700 of you who are taking part in today's Rafa Ride. Between you, you're going to cover 24,000 miles, equivalent to once around the world. Whether you're one of the 270 live riders starting in Leicestershire, or one of the hundreds of virtual participants from all over the world, from the Falklands to Hawaii, I know Rafa is hugely grateful for your support. Your efforts will contribute enormously to the vital funds we need to help the RAF family of yesterday, today and tomorrow. And your support has never been more important than it is at the moment. Well done, good luck, and on behalf of all of us, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mike. Mike, you're a fantastic supporter of our Royal Air Forces Association, and your people have been as well, and continue to be across the world today and yesterday, and of course in normal life as well. And today could not have happened without the fantastic sponsorship from Lockheed Martin, our headline sponsor for this event. And so we just wanted to check in with Lockheed Martin UK's CEO, Paul Livingston, who sent us a video.
Hi, I'm Paul Livingston, Chief Executive at Lockheed Martin UK. Well, you've done it. Congratulations to all the Rafa riders for an incredible achievement. Thank you so much for everything you've done to support the Armed Forces community. Thanks so much and have a great rest.
And I'm joined here live in Leicestershire and Waltham-on-the-Wolds by Calvin Truss, the amazing Calv Truss from Lockheed Martin, who's been our main man. And as you can tell, he doesn't just dress in lycra for fun, I believe. You completed a cycle ride, the challenge today yourself. How was it?
I'd like to say it was incredible fun, but I think it's safe to say I really enjoyed the first half. Second half, not so much, and the last mile was a killer. But it's done now, and I'm so glad I did it.
Brilliant. Well, that's it's fantastic that you got round. What was it, hilly at the last, or what was the issue, or just the heat?
So I live in Lincolnshire, and all my training's been on the flat. So the mountain Alps of Leicestershire did take me by surprise, I must admit.
Brilliant. And are you a keen cyclist normally?
Not since my paper round, I must admit, and that was some time ago. I did a fair bit of cycling, but it's not been for about a decade now, so I needed some encouragement to get back on the saddle for this event.
And you're ex-Air Force now?
That's correct, yes.
So tell us a little bit about what did you do in the war, Dad?
Yeah, I was as a pilot for about 26 years in the RAF. Then I joined the Canadian Air Force for 10 years as well.
Oh, wow.
In staff officer roles, and then some reservist time back in the UK in the RAF ever since, in fact, and I still support the base support group as a reservist at RAF Cranwell today.
Oh, fantastic. And how long have you been working for Lockheed Martin for?
3 years now, yeah.
Okay,
yep.
And what's your role with Lockheed? In fact, what do Lockheed do? For those people who are watching, what do Lockheed do?
So Lockheed Martin globally is a major defence and aerospace supplier. In the UK, supplier of the F-35 aircraft to the Royal Air Force is how most people in the Royal Air Force would know us, and also the C-130 transport aircraft. But a wide range of capabilities just in the UK, ranging from postal sorting services to support to all three of the military environments as well. So quite wide-ranging capabilities.
So really quite a close part of our Royal Air Force family, really sort of within that RAF community, working side by side with Royal Air Force personnel.
Absolutely. I think it's embedded within Lockheed's mission statement that they support the mission of the customer, and I think that's not just through the provision of equipment and services. I think that the ethos of the company matches that of the customer base as well. So that the need to support the customer, in this case the Royal Air Force and its extended family, is embedded in our psyche.
So really that whole force that we hear talked
Totally,
about a lot,
absolutely, yeah.
seems to be kind of the way that people are working nowadays.
Yeah, and not surprisingly, we within the company we have a number of ex-service personnel, and also a number that still participate through reserve service as well. So the relationship is very close indeed.
And do you find that your reserve service commitment that you were talking about, do you find that helps you kind of with, vice versa within?
Yeah, absolutely. Understanding the environment that the Air Force operates within, but also sustaining the relationships, as always, is key to a strong working environment.
So clearly, one of the Harrier Mafia here today, there seems to be Harrier pilots everywhere. I keep tripping over them. And also ex-Red Arrows as well. Has it been nice to meet up with some old teammates today?
I should make you do the walk of shame now. I'm not a Harrier man.
Oh, God, I'm sorry, Kelv. I
all.
thought
No,
you were
I'm
Harriers.
No.
Oh, right. Well,
I could say, do I look like one? No, definitely not.
Let's
No.
not go there. Let's not go there. But certainly Red Arrows. So
Absolutely.
sorry, before what?
Tornadoes.
Tornadoes.
Yes,
Oh my God,
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
shamed. I feel very ashamed. Okay, so you're slightly annoyed by all the Harrier pilots here today then?
I wouldn't have noticed there were any, except for the fact they keep telling me. So,
Yeah, we did a photo earlier and we're like, Harrier pilots, step forward. Oh my God, they step forward quickly. So, but there's some, I guess, of different eras, but there's some, quite a few former Red Arrows pilots here as well,
yeah,
I've noticed.
number of old faces here. It's great to see so many
Yeah.
gathered together. And I didn't know so many of them could ride a bicycle either.
There's quite a lot of people sort of stiffly staggering around, I think, at the moment.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll be one of those when I get up.
Cool. Wow, we've got a bit of a surprise in about 8 minutes' time. But before that, I think that we're going to go across to Washington DC, and we'll talk to our fabulous John Gorman. But before we do that, Kelv, thank you so much. Please take our thanks back to everyone at Lockheed Martin UK, because if it hadn't been for you guys today, this event would no way be the success that it is. So we can't thank
Most
you
welcome.
enough for that. Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, John, it's been I think I last spoke to you, I'm not sure how many hours ago, but you still look fresh as a daisy. How's it going? How's the mileage going?
So just rolled over 428 miles.
428 miles. Oh my goodness. How are you feeling?
My legs aren't mine anymore.
Oh gosh. I sound like your mother. Are you still taking regular breaks, having some snacks, drinking?
Yeah, she was eat and drink on the bike every
Yeah.
2 hours or so. Take a quick 10-minute break and then get back on.
Excellent. So, well, clearly you're feeling confident that you're going to make it through to the end. Your 500 miles. We know you can do it, John.
We're gonna give it my best shot. See
You
where we end
will.
up.
I know you will. We're just in awe of your achievements. It's absolutely fantastic. Do you regret it at all, taking on this challenge?
No, it's been a great sense of community out there in the virtual world. So many riders from all over the world, and everybody just really keen to support and get involved and really embrace that team effort that we've achieved with this.
That's really fantastic. And have you got people riding with you at the moment on Zwift?
The Falkland Islands have stuck with me, so they're dragging me around.
Oh, That is fantastic. That's fantastic. And John, did I hear that in the past you did the thing called Everesting?
That's right. Last summer, I Everested.
Tell us a little bit about what Everesting involves, because that sounds as epic an achievement as, or maybe, yeah, different, but similarly sort of horrendous type challenge that you like to set yourself, clearly.
So you ride the height of Everest in a single ride. That generally involves riding up and down the same hill, and that took me around 12.5 hours.
Oh my goodness! And
so this is something on a different level.
It is, isn't it? It's sort of like you've just doubled Everest, essentially. And did you do that one virtually on Zwift as well?
Yeah, so that was June last year, so everything was pretty locked down at that point.
Yeah, sure. So you've climbed Everest, and hold on, sorry John, I can see some Spitfires. Oh my goodness, we've got a lovely surprise fly past here from the BBMF, the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, which is fantastic. Sorry John, you can't see that, but I'm absolutely certain they were doing that for you and for your efforts. So there they go in the distance. Marvellous tribute there from the Royal Air Force's Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. Two really stunning looking aircraft. Are they Spitfires? Two Spitfires. I can't quite see the screen. That's not my lack of aircraft. I think they're coming round for another go. Sorry John, we'll be back. I'm trying to shut up so you can hear the gorgeous sound of their engines. So that was just a fabulous tribute, not just to the cyclists here. My gosh, they're coming back for more. Fabulous tribute, not just to the cyclists here in Leicestershire, but to all of you across the world who are doing such a fantastic job. And there's a huge amount of excitement here in Leicestershire in a very socially distanced fashion. So we should just wait for the Spitfires to clear. So John, that Spitfire fly past was totally for you. We're in awe. I can't wait to hear what you're going to do next. Everesting, then 500 miles in 24 hours. I absolutely dread to think what you're going to cook up next. But thank you so much. And we're totally with you. And you're going to make it. Ooh. And... have you... So there's a huge amount of excitement here because the Spitfire is waving its wings. Well done, Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. So John, any last words before we leave you to your glorious finale?
Just for those that are still riding, still quite a few I think in the virtual world at least, keep going. We're all nearly there now, and we'll all be able to chill out later on today.
That is fantastic. And John, I really hope that you celebrate in style because you so deserve it. So thank you so much from all of us. Now, I think that next we're hopefully going to head over, I'm not sure where he is in the country, but we're hopefully going to head over to the Royal Air Force's DCOMCAP, Deputy Commander Capability, Air Marshal Andy Turner. Andy, are you there?
Rachel, yes I am. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can. You look super summery.
It's a glorious day. Fantastic time to be on a bike, of course, isn't it? So, yeah, the weather's awesome. So, thank goodness it wasn't like it was yesterday down in the south of England. Yeah, no, absolutely. Though I have to say, and I'm probably included in this, there's quite a few pink noses that I can see wandering around. So I'm not sure our constant kind of please put sun cream on has worked. But I guess if you're cycling 100 miles, it slips off rather easily, doesn't it? So Andy, I know you've been watching the live stream both yesterday and today. And
I don't know about you, but do you know, it's just made me feel so proud and so in awe of our Royal Air Force community around the world. And just the fact that everyone's kind of pulled together and is just doing such an amazing challenge. Do you have similar feelings about it?
Yeah, it was just absolutely spectacular, isn't it? I mean, Gary has sort of brought this from his own ideas, brought on a huge crowd of people. I think hundreds. I'm not exactly sure how many are riding today, but I understood it's sort of north of 500, which is
800, more than 800, Andy.
800. That's
yeah.
Well, that's nearly 3 times last year, I think, isn't it? Which was around 300.
It's fabulous, fabulous.
So I think it's just amazing, and I think I sent a tweet out yesterday talking to, the hundreds riding today, raising thousands, but for the millions of us who are going to benefit from, that level of charitable investment. It's fantastic. I mean, it's so important to be looking after our family, not least in the year that we've been through, but with there's so many people needing help and support in so many ways. It's a superb contribution. So really grateful, amazingly great.
And really lovely to see people all over the world linking up as well. We've had people from all over the States. Yeah. We've had Royal Air Force. It really shows the contribution that the Royal Air Force is making to, to the world.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think there's, I recall I saw Jez in DC. I think there's somebody in San Diego. I'm not sure how far east we go, but, I think the challenge is sort of riding around the Earth is one thing, but to do it physically, to be riding on, all points of the compass is, I think we've got somebody in Hawaii, I think, haven't we, who's riding as well.
Absolutely.
So, genuinely, the sun has not gone down on Rafa Rides 2021 in any sense. So
no, it really hasn't.
We'll be riding to the moon next year. Gary can take us 93,000 miles and back. That's another challenge again, indeed. But no, it's superb. I mean, the volume of support, as you said, that we're feeling from this sort of engagement, this sort of level of effort is out of this world. And we're just immensely grateful. Rafa is such an amazing part of our family, in the heart of the centre of our red of the round ball, looking after our people in service and that and beyond. It's just so welcome. And actually, with a year that's been, for most charities, as you know well, it's been really tough. And so, this sort of shot in the arm, this sort of sense of reach will multiply itself, not just through the day-to-day, but through all the other things that will hopefully kick off through the summer now as well. So Rafa, I know you and Nick will be amazingly grateful, and Baz, of course, for this investment. But I think it's the secondary and tertiary consequences which will be really powerful for us. So it's an amazing day. So happy and so grateful.
Well, Andy, the Royal Air Force is always here for our country, always, protecting our interests. And hopefully the Royal Air Forces Association is always there for our Royal Air Force community. And I think today has demonstrated, we've had people literally around the world, 6 continents, 20 countries, 800 riders. And I think it shows the breadth and the depth of, of that Royal Air Force influence across the world. So thank you so much for joining us today. It's been really fabulous to have you on. So I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and you just should consider yourself lucky because you don't have to be surrounded by quite so much lycra as I've had all day. But Andy, are you a cyclist?
So I was bantering with Gary last night. So I spent an hour in lycra this morning, but on a different sport, rowing, and I am tracking in parallel the Air Force currently beating the Navy in the Duke of York's Cup polo down at Tidworth. So we're currently 3 goals to 1.5 goals, with I think another 6 minutes to play to go. So hugely exciting day.
Hurrah!
For Royal Air Force, winning at everything. So
rowing, polo, parachuting. I think you need to add cycling next year. So we will expect to see you at Rafa Rides 22. Lovely. Air Marshal Andy Turner, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much, for all of the contribution that the Air Force has made today. And I just wanted to as well say thank you so much to the 2 guys from the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight who flew over earlier. So Squadron Leader Mark Discombe and Flight Lieutenant Andy Priest did us all proud, whether you were here in Leicestershire or whether it was for you wherever you are in the world. Now, I'm joined now by Gary. the famous Gary that Andy was talking about. So Gary, tell us, how's your day been?
Day's been amazing. It really has been. So for day for us started yesterday. We've done a quarantine, so we've been cycling for 24 hours in a relay of 4 on, 4 off. But today the atmosphere has been electric. I mean, certainly for me, I haven't seen live people out and about. It's the first time I've seen it, probably about a year. But just to see people out here enjoying themselves has been great. People I haven't seen for years, and that's, to me, that's what the ride's all about. Connecting with people I haven't seen for a while, and doing it through the medium of cycling and hopefully raising money.
Absolutely. And you guys are feeling tired. You've been cycling through the night.
Yeah, we're a little bit fatigued. Nice digs in the Scout Hunt, but not a lot of sleep had, I have to say. Too much snoring. But yeah, so everyone's a bit tired. We've all cycled in excess of 100 miles, but we all grouped up at the end and came back as 16 of us, which is kind of how we started, so we finished in the same way.
And has it been nice to meet up with old friends?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. And every year we've done this, even live or virtual, you get to see people that you haven't seen for a while. So I've just met someone I flew Harriers with back in the 90s, who I haven't really seen since he's gone to BA. And he joined us today. So it's just been brilliant.
Fantastic. No, that is really smart. And I think we're trying to link up with another old friend of yours, and that's Commodore Jez Attridge out in the States. So I don't know if we've got him yet. We're still trying to find him.
Let's not confuse him with a friend of mine. But yes, it'd be lovely to see Jez. No, that would be great, actually. Good game. Jez in the States. And unfortunately, last night we tried to connect with a really good friend of mine who's over in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And that, again, just brings in the connections that we've got here with Rafa.
And of course, earlier we discovered that one of your quarantine members, Matt Tebbett, seemed to have some slightly murky shared history.
I don't know who to feel sorry for of the pair of them, actually.
Fabulous. Well, Gary, what's next for us today then? We've still got some riders coming back.
Yes, we've got some riders. For a lot of people, this is a real personal challenge. They thought they could do it, and of course they can do it. And we're going to have some stragglers because the heat is up today. And the course is okay, but it's got some tricky bits. Yeah. So we'll be here until they come home, and we'll clap the last rider through as we clap the first rider out.
And they're all just doing fantastic.
Yeah, everyone's doing really well.
Yeah,
really and as they're doing it, the pennies are going into the fundraising pot, which is brilliant.
Absolutely. And maybe we should talk about the fundraising pot before we see if we can get across to the States. We will talk about the fundraising pot. And look, Gary, do you want to? You should announce this.
My word. Well, this is unbelievable because right at the start, we really thought if we really tried hard, we could get to 6 figures. But this now says £104,000. 100. So much I can't say it.
Did you deal with money much in the Air Force?
No, I didn't. No, I wasn't really trusted. That's just outrageous.
£104,000.
It's just unbelievable.
607. Amazing.
That is just great. I mean, and that's just astounding.
Yeah,
that has smashed
fabulous.
Everything we've done. 4 years ago, we raised £20,000.
Yeah.
Look where we are today. That is just brilliant.
Well, what's the plans then for next year?
So,
apart from Andy Turner's going to don his lycra and
that's probably a revolting thought, but I can't get rid of that. So next year, Rafa Rides 22. We're hoping to choose the venue probably in the next month. We're going to launch this probably with the help of the Red Arrows, almost certainly, in terms of a live event. So stand by for that. That's coming soon.
You've said it, so it has to happen.
It has to happen.
Yeah, nice.
And when we pick the venue, we're going to get this as live as we can. But we're also, because I think what's worked, it's going to be live. It's going to be L for live, I for international.
Oh, I like this. Go on.
V for virtual.
Oh, okay.
People who do it on Zwift, as we've seen with the great John Gorman, and then experience it remotely. So if it's too difficult...
So it's liver.
Yeah, exactly. If it's too difficult for you to get to the venue because you'd rather just be home for the weekend, then set up your own ride. It really doesn't matter if you're cycling 10 miles, 5 miles around the country park or 100 miles from where you live, or whether you want to come to the live venue and be with people. Because it doesn't matter what we've seen today. It doesn't matter if you're out elsewhere, because we can bring you together here and talk virtually and bring us all in.
And that has been marvellous, watching different countries saying hello to each other. And also, we were just talking to John Gorman earlier. And
Is he broken yet?
No, he's done, at that point he'd done 428 miles. And he had the Falklands had just come on to help him. That was last push. He looked quite fresh still, but I could sense that he was tiring a little bit. But that's an amazing,
that is
amazing, isn't
24 hours, no sleep. Cycling.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I think we're going to also have a chat with Air Marshal Al Marshal, So we're going to bring him on now in a second. And we're still going to see if we can get over to... No, we can't get over to the States. That's a shame. We're hoping to talk to Air Commodore Jez Attridge. He's done a fantastic job over in the States, trying to summon up as many different people. And my goodness, you guys in the States, you're doing it all over the States. It's absolutely fabulous, you know. From Washington, Alabama. I'm just running out of places, but so many of you over the States, and thank you so much. So now I'm joined, weirdly, Al. So Air Vice Marshal Al Marshall, Air Officer Commanding 1 Group. Al, you've just come back, but you look weirdly fresh.
I only did the small ride, to be fair, Rachel.
Yeah, but you did it pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's good. Well, you told me I had to be back for the small interview, so that's fine. So I cycled fast.
So how did you find it?
Yeah, it was good, actually. The weather's really nice, and I think a bit of shade, a little bit of wind, but I did it 2 years ago, which was good, and I have to say, I think it gets better each time. So didn't get lost. It was all very, very well marked, and the roads are in pretty good condition. So,
as a former Harrier pilot, if you got lost, I'd have been a bit disappointed, to be honest.
Well, that's true. I did pay attention and follow others. There we go.
And have you met lots of old friends here as well?
Yeah, there's quite a few. Gary clearly, who had on, was one just before, was one of my squadron commanders in the past. And there's people from across 1 Group and across the Air Force. Yeah. I know there's plenty of people overseas as well. So yeah, there's been a whole community, and it's really good. Looking forward to hopefully catching up with a few people afterwards for an hour or two for going on home.
And what do you think then about the because it's been Air Force past and present who've been involved, and that wider community of people who support our Royal Air Force. What kind of their effort today? How would you describe it?
Well, I think it's great. I think the event's great. As I think the Chief of the Air Staff said, RAF is really important at the moment, even more so maybe than at other times with COVID and all the challenges. And so, and it clearly helps the whole community. But here as well, clearly there's veterans out, there's our industry friends, there's family, there's regular serving, there's reservists, there's the whole community, both doing the event and ultimately generating money for a community and individuals that need it. So really good, and really it was a very friendly atmosphere. Everybody's waving at each other as they cycle down the road. So
it has been lovely. And I think as well, so I think for me, this event is connecting people. As we have that camaraderie in our Royal Air Forces community, and that's what the RF Association stands for as well. But the money as well, the money that's been raised is just life changing. And
yeah, it's great. It's huge, isn't it? And I know RAFA has been spending probably more money than it would on average recently in the last sort of year or so with COVID and lots of the other programs, and hugely important. Lots of people need the help, and events like these, and I hope we can keep doing it in the years to come, make it bigger every year. I think I was discussing with Gary exactly what mileage we should do to get the greatest number of cyclists next year.
He's still obsessed by the moon as well. Evidently we're going to the moon. He's clearly told Andy. So now it's a bit like the Reds, we are going to the moon, evidently.
Sounds good. So it's around the world this time, is it?
I believe, yes. I think seriously, my aspiration for next year, we've had countries, I think 6 continents, 20 countries, 800 riders. I think next year even more countries, and just show that sort of where our Royal Air Force personnel and their allies, where we are.
I think it's good. I think it's got momentum now, which is great. And the fact that you can do the ride in so many different formats, at home, overnight, you can turn up here on the day. I think I have no doubt there'll be plenty of, even the wider RAF community. We've got plenty of allies and everything. I'm sure we'll do it, and we're all getting used to speaking, working, interacting in the virtual environment, so hopefully it'll be there, and the technology will help all aspects, including the charity sector.
Well, Al, thank you so much for joining me today, live here from Leicestershire. Thank you for riding, and thank you, Royal Air Force. Thank you, Royal Air Force, past and present, that wider community, our whole Royal Air Force family. Thank you so much for everything that you've done today. I hope you've all enjoyed connecting with each other. I hope that you understand how important what you've done in terms of the fundraising is, and how many people's lives are going to be so much better as a result. Other thank yous, of course, must go to our headline sponsor, Lockheed Martin, to Inspire, and DSEI, our other sponsors. And then we've had some other fantastic people like Kind, who've provided all the snacks to keep our cyclists fueled. No Two Cycles, who've been picking up people with broken bicycles here in Leicestershire. And last and definitely not least, but at all of our food stations, they've been staffed by the fantastic teams from 3 MCSU based at Royal Air Force Wittering. But most of all of you who've either cycled, who've donated, a huge thank you from us here at in Waltham-on-the-Wolds in Leicestershire. £104,000, £607. Sorry, I can't say it either, Gary, nor I can say it. 104,607. That's it. It's a fantastic. But you know, the best thing is that we've had a huge amount of fun along the way, and that's what our Royal Air Force family is all about. So, from all of us here at the Royal Air Force Association and from RAFA Rides 2021, please come back next year, and we look forward to joining with you again then.
Well done, Rachel. Good work.